Joining us now, Congressman Greg Murphy from House Ways and Means. It's a pleasure having you back on, Congressman. Okay, how can the White House think it can pull the U.S. out of recession and an inflationary spiral when that new study by the Committee to Unleash Prosperity shows the majority of Biden's team has zero business experience? This is like stumbling around in the kitchen in the dark.
Yeah, Liz, I think there's expectation of the American people that the people in Washington, D.C., especially appointees, have some level of experience, some level of competency in the field in which they are working. For example, I'm a surgeon. There's some reasonable expectation that my patients know that when I walk into the operating room, I know what I'm doing. But here we have an administration that literally has picked 2/3 of their people with hardly any business experience whatsoever. And then you question, then you wonder, why in hell is this economy crashing like it is? It's because these individuals have never signed both sides of a paycheck. They've never balanced a budget sheet for their business. I've done all those things. And so here we have people with no experience whatsoever, literally pulling numbers out of the air, and it's policy that's just causing this nation to crash and burn. But it's no wonder because of this.
And Congressman, just an average of 2.4 years of business experience for Biden's White House team versus 13 years on average for Trump's team.
Right.
I mean, this feels swampier than a swamp. It's a favor factory, it feels like. So he stocks his White House based on ideology. We've got professional politicians, lobbyists, activists, and now we've got the highest inflation rate in 4 decades and recession possibly, and a market sell-off that has vaporized $10 trillion of wealth and retirement savings. No wonder plummeting consumer, small business, and investor confidence is upon us because they don't have any faith in this White House.
Well, the number one issue, Liz, is inflation, inflation, inflation. We can talk about climate change. We can talk about the southern border. We can talk about soaring crime. These are all very, very important issues brought by the crisis of self-inflicted crisis for this administration. But what the top 10 things are that people talking about today, the average person, inflation, inflation, inflation. It is the economy, as it was said. It's the economy, stupid. And this is what's going to bring Republicans, in my opinion, really to the forefront in winning everything in November, because the American people, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, unaffiliate, cannot tolerate the economy like it's been doing. And it's literally on a crash course because of these folks that have no experience whatsoever in economics.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you see what's going on with the potential contenders for 2024, Gavin Newsom shows up while the president's in Saudi Arabia at the White House. And, if he doesn't run again, will it be Vice President Kamala Harris? I mean, Congressman, let's show this. Her latest unintelligible word salad at a speech this week. Okay, everybody, grab the Dramamine. Hold on to your chairs. You may get dizzy. Watch this.
You need to get to go. I need to be able to get where you need to go.
I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. And that's why I do believe that we are living in real unsettled times.
The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
We will work together and continue to work together. And to work together, as we continue to work together on, we must together work together to see where we are headed, where we are going together.
So much of what we have achieved together that is based on our collective ability to see what is possible, to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, to reject the notion that the way things have always been has to be the way things will continue to be.
I mean, that's like trying to follow a gnat in a hurricane. It's like a brain in search of a conclusion.
It's like a sitcom that you'd see on television. It reminds me of Archie Bunker, sometimes his word salad. But here we're talking about the second highest ranking member of the United States government. And this is where, my God, Liz, when you go overseas, you don't think the American people are seeing that foreign leaders are literally laughing at the number one and the number two persons that are in charge of this country? It's a clown. It's a circus. If you ask for any type of competency, we don't have it from A to Z in this administration.
Congressman,
it's embarrassing.
The other thing that's troubling, too, is Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. He oversees a multi-billion-dollar budget. He's overseeing the supply chain crisis hitting U.S. families. He's got just 4 years of business experience, virtually zero experience in transportation logistics. So Americans are getting out of this White House this progressive economic policy priorities, this redistribution of income, higher tax rates, more social welfare programs, a heavier hand of regulation, government-directed investment, shutting down U.S. energy, when even Obama had an all-of-the-above energy approach. Your final word.
Yeah, it's a matter of competency. In the Trump administration, you had competent individuals. You may disagree on some of the policy issues, but they were competent in their positions. We have total incompetence in this administration. If there's one word to describe it, it is an incompetent administration.
Congressman Murphy, a pleasure having you on. Come back soon.
Thank you so much. God
Sure.
bless.